Hi, my fashion designers. Welcome once again to my Goshen Heights Couture. In my last video, I did a fashion parade of the last dress we made. For those of you that followed that, I think it's up to 4 videos or so. In this video, first of all, I must apologize for my dressing. It's so hot. It's hot. It's summer here and it's so hot. It's amazing. That by the side, in my last video, I explained and showed you the project that we are starting with. And I said we're going to make this dress. I've explained the dress. This is pattern 151 from my LUTTERLOH catalog. I have explained all the alphabets that you find when you're tracing the pattern behind. I've told you what the alphabets mean. I've told you how to know what the alphabet means by looking at our symbol page, which is also part of the LUTTERLOH pattern catalog. Today we are going to trace. So without wasting time, we are going straight to tracing the front part. We are going to trace the front part of this dress first in this video. We turn back. As you can see, this and this is the front part of the dress. That's exactly what we are going to trace now. So without wasting much of your time, I'll fold this to make it easy for me to trace. So this is what we are going to trace now. Turn it around. Let me turn the computer so that you follow me. I hope it's very clear. I hope you can see everything. Good. As I said, LUTTERLOH, you need just 2 measurements to sew a dress. The 2 measurements, you use it to do your cutting of your pattern, and then you place it on your cloth and do your sewing. So we are going to start this our dress by tracing the upper part of the front. As you can see, this is the front. It's written A. I explained to you what A is. It's written here. I explained to you what VM is. So if you don't know, just go back to my last video and look at it. I did an explanation of everything on this pattern, so that when you're transferring all these things on your pattern, you know why and what those things stand for. So first of all, let's trace this one. My 2 measurements are my bust and my hip measurements, and they have not changed. If you watch my previous video from the last dress we've made, my bust measurement is 98 centimeters. I normally write it down before I start my tracing so that I will not forget. And my hips is 116 centimeters, and we are doing pattern 150. So we'll go straight to work. I said in my previous videos, if you've looked at it, when you're tracing anything from the waist upwards, as we're going to trace this top, we are going to use my bust measurement, and my bust measurement is 98. So we get the special LUTTERLOH tape. This is the special LUTTERLOH tape. Look for 98 along this place, and I've seen my 98 here. It's right here, and you fix the pin. This pin also comes with the LUTTERLOH package. You fix the pin where you see that 98, and then I'll bring this pin and I'll fix it where I see a cross. You see there's a cross here. If you look at it, there's a cross here. Fix it in that cross, and then place it on your pattern paper. And then we're going to use the tape and start tracing all these numbers you're seeing. We'll start putting dots with these numbers using the tape. So I place it on my pattern, place it on the cross, place it on my pattern. Let me be very sure of it. Okay, so it's firm enough. Good. we start tracing. The very first number I'm seeing here, no, first, this is moving. As you can see, the paper is moving and it's not supposed to be so. So I need to fix it down with a sellotape. And a sellotape, this sellotape, it also comes with the LUTTERLOH pattern. This thing always takes time, don't know, to get where the sellotape is. Aha, good, I've gotten it. Very good. Aha. So let's fix our paper so that it will not be shifting while we are doing our tracing. Fix it firmly. Just 2 places is enough, because you know you're going to have to remove it and do another tracing, so it's not good to put too many sellotapes so that it will not tear your pattern. Just these 2 now. It's okay to hold it down. See, it's not moving again. It's all right. So we start our tracing. The very first number I'm tracing here is 22. So I put my tape, look for where 22 is according to that line, and mark it. Just mark 22 here. The next one here is 19. Mark my 19 right here. Another 19. Mark it again. So you find that the more you use the LUTTERLOH, the easier it becomes and the faster you become. I remember when I used to use it, when I started using it earlier, it used to give me so much stress initially. But you find out that with time, you find that it's the most simplest thing to use to make a dress. I'd rather do this than to be measuring all the measurements in this world on my body, because this gives me my exact body figure. My exact body figure. You know, 13. See how simple it is? 11.5. Another 13. 15.5. Another 13.5. And we are done. I think that's the last one. Yeah, that's the last one. We are done with it. Finished. Remove it. Remove it. Remove the pattern, because you're now going to join all the dots together. Remove your pattern carefully so that it will not get torn. Because you might want to sew the style again another day, or for some, you might want to sew it for somebody. So be very careful and gentle. Remove the sellotape. Yes, we are done. So the next thing we are going to do now is we are going to use this, the fashion rulers, the acrylic rulers. My ruler looks very old. As I said in my previous video, I use this a lot. So it looks used. It doesn't look old. Let me change my mouth. Now, to trace this, you have to place your pattern in front of you so that you ensure that you're tracing it well. So I'm going to trace, I'm going to join the shoulder to shoulder very fast this here. That one is easy. Straight away I'll join that. Just like it is in the pattern. Then this side, see this side, it is a dotted line, as you can see. So you do it exactly as that one too. See a dotted line. And then the neck, we'll join the neck. Try to adjust it so that all the dots, I hope you're seeing what I'm doing. Okay, try to adjust it so that all the dots can come together as much as possible. Okay, I think we're there. Good. Just draw this round. And then you draw here to here. If you notice here and here is a dot, and the dot stops where we have the X, and this was where we had our X. So we'll draw that dot. Draw the dot, and you can see after the dot, you see that this line from here to here is not straight, it's a little bit curved, just a little bit curved. So we are going to make it curved just as it is, because those are the little things that gives you that figure that you want. It's a little bit curved inside. So we leave it like this. Do this. I hope you're seeing what I'm doing. It's curved inside. So I'm using this part of my curve to draw from this last part of the dot to here. Let me leave this a little bit. From here to this dot. There are two dots. This dot to this dot. It's a little bit curved. It's not straight. If you look at it very well, it's not straight. So I need to use the inner part of this place to join this. So it is curved inside, as you can see. I'm using the inner curved side to join those two dots. So it comes like this. So and then it's remaining only these four dots. These two places is another dot. As you can see, it's another dot that is not up to here. So it's up to just under this last point, and this is the last point here. So what you do, just check that last point and then make a point where your dot is going to stop. And then we draw the dots, the two dots that is here. Draw the two dots from here to here. And then the last but not the least, we join all the bottom together, and that is a kind of outside curve. It's kind of outside curve. It's not an inner curve. So I use an outer curve. I'm sure you can see it. Using the outer side of the curve to draw the bottom. Like that. It is all. Now, if you look here, there is a facing here. There's facing down here. So you find that the facing is about 3 centimeters from the last curve. This is the last point here. So we get our 3 centimeters with our tape. This is our tape. Just get your 3 centimeters from there and mark it here. That is the 3 centimeters. And then it ends to 3 centimeters from this area. You can see 3 centimeters from this point here, 3 centimeters written there. If you look at it very well. So we mark another 3 centimeters from here too. We mark it. So we do our facing. Just draw it the way they did it there. So. Wonderful. That is it. Now I'm going to transfer everything here onto my facing, onto my pattern. Everything onto my pattern. The way it is, I will just transfer it. The dart here is 15 cm. I didn't measure it, but that means on your cloth, in case it is not up to 15, I have 13 here. It's supposed to be 15 cm. You see, I didn't measure it. It's supposed to stop here. I tell you everything, so that by the time you're sewing, everything will just fit you to perfection. Bam. Everything will fit you. No matter how your figure is, it will fit you, because the measurement is according to your figure. That is why I like this pattern. Some patterns just come with sizes. They'll say this pattern is size 12, is size this. But at times you find out that by the time you use it, either the bust is okay and your hips is not okay. But with LUTTERLOH, this is your own pattern, your own body, how your body is. That is how LUTTERLOH just help you. You just cut out everything according to your figure. According to your figure. Everything. These alphabets are very important at all these joints, because it tells you where to join which material to which particular point to join to which point. It's very helpful. So it's always good to write them down as you see it. Always good to do that. I think we are done with this. Is there anything written here? There's an A there. I think I've written that. Good. We are done with our upper parts of the pattern. Upper front. So the next I'm going to do now, I don't know whether this video is too long. Let me see what's the length of this video. If it's too long, I have to stop it. It's too long. I think we have to stop here. I'll do another video next, a single video, because this is almost 20 minutes. It's long. I'll do the video on the lower part of the front part of our dress. So just stay tuned for the next video.